Hi guys, welcome back to Electric Liz. Today I just have kind of like a life update, wedding update video. I've been getting a lot of questions about the wedding planning process and just questions in general because I know I haven't really been posting a lot. So I figure I would film this video telling you what I've been up to, where we are in the wedding planning process, and just answering some of the questions that you've been asking me on social media. So I have a couple questions over here, but then I'll also just give you some information, just update and that type of stuff. So if you're interested in learning where we are in our wedding planning process, then keep on watching. So if you're new in this video, I'm gonna leave the links down below for our engagement video, like the proposal story time. I have a couple like bridal subscription boxes videos on my channel, and I actually have like a whole wedding series on my channel, so I'm gonna leave all of those links down below just so that you can kind of catch up and see where I'm at. But just a little refresher, we got engaged on December 2018 and we are getting married this coming June, so June 2020, actually first day of summer, so June 20 of 2020. So we are 5 months away from the wedding. So originally we thought, you know what, let's go with like a long engagement. So we had maybe like a year and a half long engagement, which kind of felt like forever. I feel like we started planning right away. I started planning right away. I got some things taken care of right away at the beginning of 2019. So then in the middle of 19, there was this like awkward time where I was like, now what do I do? Like I felt like, oh my God, I just started way too soon and now I have nothing to do. And people would ask me like, hey, how's it going with the planning? And I'm like, I'm kind of just chilling. Like I'm not doing anything for for the next couple months because it just felt like it was so far away. But 2019 definitely went by really fast, and now we are already in 2020, and it's almost February. It is January 20th today. So yeah, time is flying, and we just gotta finalize a couple things. But just wanted to kind of let you know where we're at. So some of the questions I'm gonna be answering, and then I'm just gonna be adding some information in between. So the first question that I have is, what was the first thing that you took care of, or what was the first thing that you did after you got engaged? So after we got engaged, there was maybe like a week or 2 weeks that it was really difficult to decide if we actually wanted a wedding or if we just wanted to sign the papers and not have anything, just because weddings are super expensive. And since the beginning we were like, we're not gonna take people's money. Like neither of our families are like, you know, rich. Like we're not gonna take people's money. So we were like, well, if we do have a wedding, we're paying on our own. We're if we don't have a wedding, we can save that money, use it on something else. But we just kept going back and forth because I felt like, you know, like I didn't want to regret not having a wedding. You know what I mean? Like we were leaning towards like, let's just go travel the world. And then I was like, oh, but what if then I regret not having a wedding? You know, like how Disney movies kind of ruin girls' lives with the whole like fairy tale. So like I feel like most girls want a wedding. So yeah, we were like, okay, let's just have a wedding. Let's do a small wedding. We're kind of like small, medium size. We have 80 guests in our list. So we really, really, really kept it like close friends, close family. Everybody that's invited, we really want to be there. We're expecting probably like 70 people to show up. I know that not everybody's going to be able to make it. So yeah, I would say that it's kind of like on the small, medium size. But anyways, yeah, the first thing that we said was, okay, we're gonna have like a small wedding. And then since the beginning, I already kind of knew what type of style of wedding I wanted, what type of venue I wanted. So the first thing that we took care of was the venue. And I feel like there's no really like right or wrong way of starting the planning. Like you can book something before the other. But I feel like to me, it was really important to get the venue and kind of figure out the theme to then figure out the rest. Because, yeah, like you need to figure out the venue and the date and then kind of start going from there. So that's what we did. We got the venue. I love the venue. Every time we are in that area, we go and look at it, and every time I'm like, oh my god, like it's just so pretty, especially during the summertime. Right now in the winter, it's pretty dead outside, but yeah, like I love it. I'm always looking up pictures or videos of the venue to kind of get an idea of like decoration and stuff like that. And when we went to visit during the summertime, we took some videos and some pictures. And every time I look at it, I'm just like, oh my god, like I'm so happy with our venue. I'm really happy that we decided to kind of invest a little bit because it's not a cheap venue, but I'm happy that we invested in the venue because I feel like the venue kind of gives the whole feel of the event. So yeah, that's the first thing that we took care of, and then figuring out the date to be able to book the venue, and that's it. Right now, we are 5 months away from the wedding. So we're kind of at that stage that like the big things have been taken care of already. We have our venue, DJ, photographer, we have our catering company. So the bigger things are taken care of, obviously. And now it's kind of like the smaller details. Maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, I got the centerpieces order. So we're gonna put together our own centerpieces, but I purchased like the items that we're gonna need for it. Right now, I'm kind of like looking at invitations. For our save the date, we use Shutterfly, so that's what we're using for our invitations, and I like them, really inexpensive. They actually just sent me a 50% off discount code, which is so convenient because that's just gonna make our lives much easier. It's gonna be way cheaper, 50% off the purchase. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. Other than that, just kind of figuring out little details. Some things are just gonna have to wait until a couple weeks before the wedding, but yeah, I feel like we're good. As I said, like I started planning so far in advance that then after a couple months, I was like, okay, so yeah. And I was just like not doing anything wedding related for a couple months just because I was like, okay, I can't really do much without the money and without the decoration. Like I wasn't gonna buy the decoration so far in advance, so there was not a whole lot that I could do during those months. So that was nice to kind of relax for a little bit, and now it's back to go, go, go again. Are you bringing your dog? Unfortunately, the venue does not allow pets, and I was honestly gonna try to kind of say that she's like a like an emotional support, but I don't wanna get into it. It's gonna be a long day. I'm gonna be there the whole day, and I just don't want to have to worry about, like where is she? Like, does she have to go potty? Like, I think it's just best that she's not allowed. I would have loved some pictures with her, me already dressed up and kind of like put some cute wedding accessories on her, but yeah, unfortunately they don't allow it. I'm just gonna have to do a mini photo shoot afterwards with her. But yeah, I have if you don't know, she's like a family dog. She's 11 years old, and she's a Pomeranian Chihuahua mix, and yeah, she's so cute. But yeah, she's not gonna be able to go. So sad, but yeah, it's just gonna be a long day, and to have her like on a leash or like in a room, might as well just have her at home at her own comfort of her bed. Are you nervous? I'm kind of like in between. I feel like I never get nervous or excited until actually like when I'm right there. This always happens to me every time I travel or any time I have like a special occasion going on. I never get excited until I'm actually at the airport. And I don't know why that happens to me, but it always happens. I think maybe I'm just kind of like, like some, I don't know. I think I'm used to like things going wrong, which sounds so sad, but I don't like to get excited until I know it's for sure. So whenever I'm going on like a trip or something like that, like I just wait until I'm at the airport and I'm like, okay, now it's for sure. Like it's I don't know, like I'm just weird like that. So yeah, like I'm kind of in between. Um I think the only thing that kind of makes me nervous is going like walking down the aisle with people staring at me, because I've never liked that type of attention. I'm not like the center of attention anywhere I go. I don't like that type of attention. Waskar, on the other hand, he's like super dramatic and loud and crazy. And every time we go out and he does something crazy, I'm just like, I'm so embarrassed because people are like staring, and I'm like, I don't like it. So that's the only thing that makes me nervous about it. Other than that, I'm good. Another question is, why don't you have a bridal party? And I don't know if you guys know, I've probably mentioned it before, but we are not having a party. So I'm not having any bridesmaids, and he's not having any groomsmen. And there's a couple of different reasons, and I don't want to get into it too in depth. But I just feel like the more people involved, the more opinions. So the more miscommunication, the more unorganized, the more different comments. Like I just don't want to have to deal with people. I don't want to have to worry about people doing this, doing that, getting this done, getting this. So we're just gonna do everything ourselves. Also, we don't need anyone standing next to us. Like it's about us. After all, it is our wedding, and we want you to be a guest, and we want you to be comfortable and have a good time and not have to worry about spending money on us, like buying your dress and your shoes and accessories, makeup, hair, and all of that. And we just, I feel like we're at a point in life where most of our friends are either married or have kids, and I'm just I just didn't want to put that extra expense in someone's situation. Like I just didn't want to have them deal with that. And yeah, like we're gonna enjoy our wedding and our ceremony from where we're gonna be standing at, and we're gonna be so happy to see everybody sitting and enjoying the event. So we don't really have to have anybody standing next to us. Like we are good with you sitting and enjoying and witnessing the celebration. So yeah, I just thought it was unnecessary, because I like to do things my way. I feel like when you do things yourself, you have nobody to blame when something goes wrong other than yourself. Um, things don't get done the way you want it unless you do them yourself. So there's just like a couple different reasons that I was just like, you know what, we don't need that. We're not traditional, we're not religious. I feel like traditionally bridesmaids are supposed to be like single, and there's a lot of rules into that, and if we're not gonna follow those rules, then what's the point of even doing it? So yeah, there were just like way too many cons versus pros. And I'm just like, whatever. Like I don't need that situation in my life. And I didn't want to have to choose too. Like I feel like that's so much pressure to pick and choose between people. um Obviously, like we have closer friends than others, but yeah, like it's just awkward to have to pick and choose. So that's another reason too. Are you over your budget? Did you even have a budget? And what was your budget? So that's one of the questions that I got. So we did have a budget. Um, and it's funny because when we like we always knew that weddings are expensive, but we had no idea. Like when we first decided that we were gonna have a wedding, I was like, yeah, like 5,000. 5,000. Oh my god, you can't do anything with $5,000 for a wedding unless you're really doing like DIY, the backyard of your friend's house, like, but yeah, that was super unrealistic, and early on we learned that that was not gonna happen. So we up it up a little bit, like double, and we are probably gonna go over our budget. We do have a budget, but it's kind of flexible, because at the moment that we decided to have a wedding, I said, okay, we're either gonna not have a wedding or we're gonna have a nice wedding. It's not gonna be fancy or expensive or huge or extra or extravagant or anything like that, but I don't want it to be a crappy wedding either. So, we have been really realistic as far as like, we can do this, we cannot do this. So we gotta compromise and meet in between. And we are probably gonna be close to our budget, a little bit over, but not super crazy. Um, just because there are some things that need to happen. Like I'm not just gonna skip this whole thing because I want to save $2,000. At this point, we've already put so much money into it and so much time into it that if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it good. We're gonna do it right, and I'm not gonna skip on something huge just to save a couple extra dollars. Having said that, we're not going all crazy. Don't expect a mansion with a bunch of food or like live music or anything like that, but we just wanted a certain way. Um, so yeah, we're gonna we're paying with our own money, so it doesn't really matter how much it is because it's our money. And I feel like most of the money is the venue and the catering. So the catering, like the food and alcohol, is probably almost double as the venue, and then the venue is the second largest amount of money. And then after that, the remaining is just invitations, decoration, bouquet, alterations. So just the little things. Oh, actually, in the photography and DJ and stuff like that. But that's compared to the catering and the venue, those are minor expenses. So I feel like that was the biggest portion of our budget, and now we just got to work with what we have and a little extra, as I said, to kind of fill in those empty spaces, like the signs and stuff like that. So it's not gonna be like super over the budget, but it's probably most likely gonna be over our budget. What are you most looking forward to? So I'm looking forward to it being over. No, I'm looking forward to having a good time. As I said, we're only inviting people that we really, really want there. And that doesn't mean that the rest of our friends or the rest of our family we don't care about or anything like that. But we had to compromise and invite our close friends and our close family just because, as I said, we are paying with our own money. And things add up, and it's like ridiculous, like we can buy a house with the money we're spending. So yeah, like I'm just looking forward to having a good time with the people that we are gonna have there. I think my favorite part, like I guess I don't know what my favorite part is gonna be, but I'm really looking forward to after the ceremony and the awkward first dance and the toast and the speech or whatever and dinner, just like the portion that everybody's dancing and having a good time and drinking and taking selfies, and that portion of it, I think it's gonna be super, super fun. But I'm looking forward to the whole day. That whole day is gonna be the longest day ever. And I keep hearing that it goes by really fast, so it kind of makes me mad that you put in so much money and so much time and then the day flies by. At the end of the day, it is about the marriage and not about the wedding. if that makes any sense. So the wedding is just a celebration, but you really got to focus after that on your marriage. So that's the most important thing. I'm really looking forward to our honeymoon as well. For the longest time, we were like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to go on our honeymoon, at least not right away. But we had to compromise. We were like, okay, let's pick 1, 2, 3, go, and we booked our honeymoon. And now I'm excited. We're gonna be gone for like 8 nights or something like that, which is not like the longest honeymoon ever, but we're not going super far either. So that's enough time. Since we are having some friends and family traveling from like different states and maybe Dominican Republic too, we decided not to go right away. We're gonna go maybe like 3 or 4 days after our wedding. So our wedding is on Saturday and we're leaving on Wednesday. That way we have time to hang out with our guests. So I thought that was pretty cool. Again, I've been so thoughtful and so considerate of other people, even though it's our wedding, it's our day, but you gotta think of other people. So like all of the decisions that I've made have had to do with our guests as well. Again, we want you to be there, we want you to have fun, we want you to be comfortable, and we're not gonna make you pay a flight ticket and hotel and then leave the next day. Like, we definitely want to spend time with our guests, our friends and family. So we're gonna stay a couple days and then we're gonna go on our trip. What is something you wish you knew before starting the planning? I feel like a lot of the things that people say for this question I already knew. You know, like some people say, I didn't know how expensive a wedding was. I knew how expensive a wedding was. Even though, you know, like our first budget was super unrealistic, but I had an idea that it was gonna be a lot. So that's not something that I wish I knew. I kind of already knew. The importance of reading reviews. I have a situation going on with the store where I purchased my dress. I'm just waiting for my dress to be in my hands for me to openly talk about this situation. You know, I feel like maybe it sounds bigger than what it is. It's not that big of a deal, but I wish I read the reviews for this place before I went there, because now I know what type of people I'm dealing with. And because I know what type of person this lady is because I haven't said anything until I have my dress in my hands. Long story short, she doesn't take responsibility for her mistakes. The way that she responds to people on social media is ridiculous. Like, oh my god, this is like a whole nother video. If you want to hear this full story, leave me thumbs up and leave me comments down below. Let me know if you want to hear this, because this is legit a whole nother video. Like, the whole situation has been crazy. Again, my situation is not that big of a deal. I'll still get my dress on time, but I think but yes, as soon as I get my dress, this lady is gonna hear about how I feel. Let's leave it at that. So yeah, read reviews. She has reviews on like BBB. Read the reviews. It's something really important that I want to recommend you guys if you're planning a wedding and you haven't booked your vendors, or you haven't bought your dress or your shoes or anything like that. Definitely reviews. And I think that's pretty much all I'm gonna say right now. Another friend asked me what has been your favorite saving tip. My favorite what did I say? My favorite saving tip would say, do your research ahead of time. Like, don't leave things for last minute. Everything goes up last minute. The venue, the catering, the DJ, the photographer, like, those prices are gonna go up as they get closer to your date. Do your research. Do a lot of research. Don't settle. Ask questions. I guess asking questions doesn't have anything to do with saving money, but just be sure. Like, don't settle because it's cheap. You know, at the end of the day, you get what you pay for. The cheap things cost you more at the end of the day. So yeah, try to save money, but really do your research to make sure that you're getting the right vendor and you're getting what you need. And then booking ahead of time saves you money. So don't leave things for last minute. Start planning ahead of time. Have a good idea of what you want even before researching, because it can get really overwhelmed when you start researching and you have no idea what you want. So what are you looking for? You don't know. So I think just have a good idea of what you want before even doing anything, and that's what I would recommend. So yeah, like it really depends on what you want. Look out on the marketplace. Marketplace usually has a lot of things that are affordable, more affordable than if you were gonna purchase it at a store, because it's just people that had their wedding and are trying to get rid of those things. So definitely look at marketplace, or even like Craigslist might have like some items that you are searching for if you need like decoration. I know I've seen at a lot of weddings like furniture used as decoration, so that would be a good place to look for, and you just need to like repaint it or something like that. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep it at that. I do have more questions that I've been asked, but I don't want to make this video too long. I'll try to make like a final update at the beginning of June or end of May or something like that, like a final update of what's done and what has changed. So if you do have any additional questions, please leave them in the comments down below, and I hope you enjoy watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.